I'm gonna begin my presentation with the year 2020. The year 2020, when the most unprecedented crisis of our time took over our lives and changed many of our ways, the COVID 19 pandemic. It was also the same year when I decided to delete my Facebook account for a lot of reasons. And for today, I wanted to shed some light on the things that happen when we go online, the things that are manipulating us when we go online. Because, as a matter of fact, when we are online, we are usually not at our best behavior. And there are a lot of reasons behind that. So we have to figure that out. And as you know, we everyone has their rights. You, as a child, have your rights. And I want to make sure if the Batang Bayan who are watching us today know about their rights. Maybe you can comment down on Facebook Live. Do you know what your rights are as a child? Maybe you could finish the sentences I have on the screen. Every child has a right to blank. If you do remember what your rights are as a child, please comment down. Also, you can answer that in Tagalog. Karapatang what? I want to make sure that the Batang Bayans who are watching us right now are aware of their rights, because in the past we have been campaigning on informing every child in Mandaluyong City, every child in our school to know their rights as a child. And I want to make sure that you do know what your rights are as a child. Okay. Every child has a right to education. Every child has a right to live. Every child has a right to be happy. Karapatang maging malaya. To be educated. Karapatang mag-aral. Thank you so much for all the responses. This proves that the Batang Bayan, our learners in Mandaluyong High School, truly are literate, are critical, and are aware of their rights as a child. Okay, so thank you so much for your responses. I don't think that I'm gonna see your the Facebook comments in the future. So let me just continue with my presentation. Also, to the ones who are learning, who are watching this live today, maybe you could share this with your friends. Tag your friends on the comment box, because we want to make sure that they know their rights. Send this link to your friends on Messenger, because we want to make sure that your friends, your classmates, your family members, perhaps your little brothers and sisters, we want to make sure that they know they have a right to be born well, they have a right to a wholesome family life. We want to make sure that they know their rights as a child. Um, to be more precise, the rights that I've been talking about and the rights that you are mentioning right now are the rights that are constituted by law. And that law is presidential decree. Well, I'm not a law person, but I want to make sure that I want to share this presidential decree. It's PD number 60603, the Child and Youth Welfare Code. You can see all the rights you have as a child. You have the rights to education. You have the right to play, to enjoy your youth. You have the right to be protected from danger. And danger comes when we go online and the digital world is not regulated. I hope I'm not giving so many big words right now or so many unfamiliar words. And I'm not seeing the Facebook comments as well, but maybe someone could just tap me in the back if message me or something if you're not understanding anything that I'm saying, because I'm speaking in English. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is danger comes when we go into the digital world, when we go online, when we open our social media and it's unregulated. So when we say unregulated, no one is there taking care of you. No one is there making sure that you are still safe. Okay, so I want to know what you think about, or what actions do you want to see taken to protect yourself on social media. Siguro may mga idea kayo, no? I know that you have ideas. Siguro pwede nating malaman kung ano ba ang mga actions na naiisip nyo na gusto nyo mangyari para maprotektahan kayo sa social media. Let me see if I can find any ideas on the comment box. Hmm. Someone says, okay, it's not loading yet. Anyway, paano ka mapoprotektahan sa social media? Maybe some of you are saying the following things. There should be someone who will penalize people who are cyberbullying. And based on the previous speakers, we have already tackled that, yes, there are existing laws who will protect you from cyberbullying. Um, the Five Rights Foundation surveyed some 709 children around the world in 27 countries, and they found that children want the children around the world want age appropriate content, want trusted information, want health information that they can trust. They want action and remedy in discrimination and cyberbullying. They want protection from predators, from sex predators, from bullies, from scammers. They want access to internet and devices, and they want less surveillance from from commercial companies. So I'm going to talk about that. What do we mean by less surveillance from commercial companies? Because, as a matter of fact, the reason we are not paying anything for our Facebook account and for our social media is because the commercial companies are paying for it, are paying for your attention on social media. You're not paying anything on Facebook because you are the product. You are your attention, your personality is being sold to these commercial companies. And so children around the world have realized that, and they want less surveillance from these companies. You're Let's say, for example, yesterday you were just talking to your friend about how you want to eat McDonald's, and a little later on you see a McDonald's ad on your Facebook feed. How many times have that happened to you? Maybe we could see on the comment boxes. Okay. Thank you so much for the responses. I appreciate that. I want to continue by diving deeper on this issue about the racist comments that Miss Universe Canada called out. One of the controversial issues today, just like what Sir Angela mentioned earlier, is the calling out of racist comments by Miss Universe 2020. Sorry, Miss Universe Canada 2020. If you have read the news, then you already know that the comments were made by Filipinos. When we mention of racism, it is usually us. Tayong mga Pinoy yung biktima ng racism. But right now on social media, we are not. We are the ones spewing hate and racist comments against other people of color. Yes, us Filipinos are people of color too, because our color, I mean, we're brown and we're colored as well, but not really colored as to say, because the colored people means um, uh, the African Americans. Okay. Anyway, that's not the point. The point here is, as an educator and a former beauty queen, I want to dive deeper on this issue by starting a restorative conversation. So when we say restorative conversation, we have to answer the questions: how can we repair the damage? How can we prevent this from happening again? And in my 5 rules that I'm going to share with you this afternoon, I'm hoping na masagot ko yung tanong na yon with you. How can we repair the damage that's been done? So my main argument for this afternoon is that the only way we can stay safe, or the only way that young people can stay safe on cyberspace and protect their rights, is for you, young people, to understand how social media is hacking your brain and affecting your behavior. I want to highlight these last phrase: social media is hacking your brain and affecting your behavior. Let's go back to that issue about Miss Universe Canada. Yung mga Pilipinong nag-comment ng mga racist slurs and insults, Bago nila gawin yon, may nangyari muna. Facebook, the app itself, knows about their personalities, about these people's personalities. Facebook knows na kapag pinakita na kapag itong picture ni Miss Canada ay nag-appear sa feed ng mga taong yon, ng mga personality na yon, magko-comment sila. So that's how smart the supercomputers are. They call it AI enhancement or artificial intelligence. They know, Facebook knows kung anong klaseng personality meron ka. And so what Facebook will do is to show you photos na matitrigger ka. Is to show you photos na alam ni Facebook, magko-comment ka, magbabasa ka ng comments, mag-i-scroll more ka, mag-i-scroll down ka. And so, bago sila nag-comment, yun muna yung nangyari. And that's one thing that I want you to realize is happening with every one of us. Facebook is showing us what we want to see, and therefore, this results to the fact that we are not at our best behavior because we are triggered when we see the next perfect post, when we see the next perfect video, when we see the next perfect photo we want to comment on. We are truly going to like on it. We're truly going to respond to it. We're truly going to share it because they know our personality. And so my point here is we are often not in our best behavior when that happens. And so a lot of the cyberbullying that occurs online is a product of that artificial intelligence enhancement. Well, I'm sure that you guys know what artificial intelligence is, and that is, yun nga, matatalino na ang computers at technologies ngayon, mas matatalino sa tao. Anyway, that's not the point. I'm gonna move on to my 5 rules. The 5 rules to stay safe on cyberspace and to protect your rights online is to know that you will have, in order for you to be protected from danger, you will have to realize a lot of things that I'm going to cover right now. So, as an educator or as a parent, we often hear that, yes, a lot of us care for our children. Yes, a lot of us care for you. But we cannot say that we care for our children when we allow them to think that the world revolves around likes, clicks, shares, and followers, because it ruins their mental health. We say we care for your mental health, but we allow you to go on social media and just try to seek validation from people online. I think this was mentioned earlier. We should not be, or by one of the comments by one of our members of the audience, we should not be seeking validation from people online, because that's the main reason why a lot of teenagers are feeling depressed right now, because social media is showing us that, hey, these people are having a better life than you are. These people are enjoying their afternoon. These people are showing you that they're more beautiful, they're more perfect, they're more likable, when it's not. It's just the workings of the social media. And so if you finally understand that social media is hacking your brain to believe that people are better than you are not being protected from danger. And we said that one of your rights is to be protected from danger. Then when that happens, or every time that happens, it is not. It is not the case. The first rule, kanina ko pa binabanggit yung rule, no? There are 5 rules to stay safe on cyberspace. And the first rule I want to share with you is to understand how the internet and internet companies work. So yun yung paulit-ulit kong sinasabi kanina. You have to understand how these work. Let's say lilipat ka ng tirahan. Let's say titira ka na sa Mindanao or sa Visayas o siguro sa upper north talaga, sa norte. Let's say titira ka sa bagong tahanan, sa bagong syudad. Bago ka pumunta dun sa bagong syudad na yon o sa bagong region na yon, kailangan alam mo muna kung anong klaseng pamumuhay ang meron ng mga tao ron. Baka naman pagsapit ng 6 p.m., tulog na lahat dahil nasa probinsya ka. Baka naman wala doon transportation or mode of transportation kasi nasa remote area ka. Baka naman yung lilipatan yung bagong bahay ay sobrang ingay, masikip, at ang mga tao ay lagi nagdidikit-dikit. These things, kailangan mo munang alam kung anong meron doon sa lilipatan mo bago ka tumira ka, para alam mo kung paano ka mag-a-adjust, alam mo kung paano ka kikilos. It's the same with social media. You have to understand how they work before you are able to use them, but that's not the case, right? 13 years old, 8 years old, makikita mo na nasa social media. They don't even know what that's supposed to do, or what that's supposed to how that's supposed to work, and yet they're there, right? Rule number 2 is you have to critique the services that you use. Ayan, discuss natin yung anonymous apps. So it's becoming popular, right? You meet strangers online, you talk to them, and you have no names or whatsoever. Why is that popular? Why is that becoming popular? Because they let people talk. They let people talk with limited accountability. In other words, hindi siya regulated. Kahit sabihin mo may moderators yung website na yan, kahit sabihin mo may moderators yung app na yan, no. The scale of their users, hindi nila kayang i-cover lahat ng issues and complaints. Kaya nga maraming apps ang nagko-close, ang nagsha-shutdown, kasi hindi nila nakakayanan yung cyberbullying cases sa dami ng complaints, sa dami ng cases, dahil nga it's not gonna work. Kahit sabihin mo moderated yan, no, it won't work because the scale of the users is just too big. So you have to critique the services before you use them, just like my example earlier. Rule number 3 to stay safe on cyberspace is break free from the chronic people pleasing. So yung naka-highlight dyan ay yung chronic. Pag sinabi natin chronic, sabihin natin diabetes, mga sakit ngayon. Pag sinabi mong chronic, malala na, at hindi na maagapan, something like that. So, yung people pleasing, kung saan we seek validation from other people on social media by, okay, I'm gonna post this photo and I'm hoping makakuha ko ng kahit man ng 10 reactions just to prove that I'm beautiful enough. I'm posting this photo para malaman ng ex ko na ganito ganyan. I'm posting this photo para malaman nung kaaway ko na mas maganda ako sa kanya kahit I don't know. So, yung mga ganon, that's what we call seeking validation from other people. And I'm hoping that with this rule, you will understand that you have to break free from that. Because the longer you stay on social media to seek validation from other people, the longer you stay on social media to think and to make yourself feel that you're loved and you're beautiful, the longer that you are being posed or you are being risked sa mga dangers na hopefully naliwanagan ko kanina. Let's talk science. So yung ating brain, the prefrontal cortex of our brain, which is the area of our brain that's involved in cognitive control, yung prefrontal cortex, yan yung nagko-control sa ability natin to process and direct our attention based on our goals. Meaning, ito yung talaga yung masasabi mo mature ka talaga mag-isip kung your prefrontal cortex is, developed. However, with every human being, yung prefrontal cortex na yan, nade-develop lang yan in our mid to late 20s. So if you're a teenager and you haven't reached your 20s yet, that means your prefrontal cortex hasn't fully developed. And the harm that's happening right now is ang mga teenagers nasa social media mahawak ng devices when they haven't fully developed their ability to control their behavior, right? So I hate to say it because I know the audience that I'm talking to right now are the teenagers, but you have no full capability yet to control your behavior. So that with that being said, ibig sabihin, hindi pa fully develop yung kakayahan nyo to control your behavior, and then you're holding a phone, you have a lot of accounts on social media, right? And then kapag nag-post ka ng photo tapos naka-receive ka ng magagandang comments, and then people are saying you're so beautiful, etc., blah blah blah, you feel good. And then kapag may nakakita ka isang comment na, can you make your ears bigger, or ano ba yan, ang pangit mo naman, yung mga ganong comments, bigla ka na lang manliliit. Well, that's the harm in social media. That's why nga, you have to be more careful when you use these services, because you have to take the good with the bad. Yes, you have to be on social media kasi online class tayo. But you also have to learn how to manage the bad side of that coin, or the flip side of the coin, which is, ayun, may cyberbullying. How will you manage that? May mapipilitan kang mag-seek ng validation from other people. How will you manage that? Okay? And rule number 4 is, you have to know, bago ka mag-social media, you have to know that you have to protect your digital reputation. Digital reputation, ano yon? Siguro alam mo kung ano yung reputation, offline or in person. Yun yung pagkakakilala sa'yo ng tao. But you're not looking at your digital reputation. A person's digital reputation is defined by how they behave online, what kind of content they post about themselves and others. These posts, including your social interactions, shape how a person is perceived online and offline, and it will remain there forever. Let's take, for example, yung kakalabas ng nabalita last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. Maine Mendoza apologizes for offensive tweets she made a decade ago. Imagine, a decade ago, tapos biglang lumabas. Because nga, you have to protect your digital reputation. When you were on social media, you're not thinking about the future. You're just thinking about the present moment and how you're feeling right now, but you're not thinking about what impact is that gonna cause your reputation in the future. You're bullying other students online. You're writing comments that are hurtful. You're writing racist comments against other nationalities without thinking that it's gonna impact your reputation, your digital reputation. May tinatawag tayong digital carbon, not really carbon, digital footprint. Yung digital footprint na yon, ibig sabihin, pag sinabi mong footprint, nag-i-stay yan forever. And it's the same with digital reputation, your digital footprint. It's gonna stay there forever. So, do you want to be someone who's gonna have problems getting accepted in the job that they applied for? Do you want to be someone who's gonna have trouble getting into the university or college that they want to enroll in because of the comments you made several years ago? Because of the posts that you made 10 years ago? Do you want to be the person who's gonna struggle with their relationships in the future kasi you're the family of the person you're gonna marry, the family of the person you're gonna be with, just realize that, hey, this guy is racist, hey, this guy is sexist, hey, this guy is, look at his post long time ago, and then we're gonna apologize when that comes? Yes, you can apologize all you want, but it's already there. You've already shown everyone na you've made these comments before. You've insulted a person before. You've insulted a fellow teenager or a fellow student before. It's not nice, and it's not gonna do any good for you and the people around you. So the last rule is to protect your privacy online. Well, na-discuss na to kanina, and I think this is still important. I mean, this is important. That's why I'm mentioning it, and I'm including it in my presentation. If there's any way na magsisync yung StreamYard at yung Facebook, anyway, I just want to ask people, or I just want to ask you, when was the last time you posted something in public? Yung privacy setting mo ay public. When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you posted a photo of your family? Or perhaps a minor in your family, such as your little brothers and sisters, your nephews and nieces. When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you posted a photo of your classmates? If you're a teacher, when was the last time you posted a photo of your students? If you're a student, when was the last time you posted a photo of someone else aside from you? Kung ang sagot nyo ay kanina lang, o kaya today po, o kaya kahapon, o kaya last week, you have to review your social media account. You have to review the privacy settings that you have or you're using. And the last question is, when was the last time you shared where you at, or the last time you shared your location? Siguro, nung nag-upload ka ng photo, pumunta ka ng let's say, as San Jose Street. Nag-post ka ng photo at San Jose. When was the last time you did these things? When was the last time you posted about that? If your answer is last week, or if your answer is kanina, if your answer is today, you have to review now Maybe after this webinar, after our question and answer, you can review your settings. And before I go, I just want to not reiterate, no. I just want to be on your side. I want you to know that I'm on your side, because I am not telling you to go live off the grid. I'm not telling you to delete your Facebook account. I'm not telling you to stop using these apps. Five Rights Foundation said that children and young people want and need to participate in online environments. I agree with this, that's why I'm sharing it. Knowledgeably, creatively, and fearlessly. So, ibig sabihin, social media and technology are both indispensable. Hindi mo na siya matatanggal, bahagi na siya ng ating buhay, especially students. So, paano mo masisiguro na you're still protected, that you still have your rights protected in the digital world if you're not literate enough, if you don't know that what you're doing on social media is gonna last forever, what you're posting on social media is gonna make an impact. You have to be knowledgeable enough to know these things before you participate in online environments, because it's still your right. It's your right to participate in these online environments. It's your right to voice out your opinions in there. How will you participate in online environments creatively? So when we say creatively, when you say something on social media, can you make people believe you? How will you do that? How will you do that in a creative way where people will believe you? Kung hindi mo alam kung paano gumagana ang mga internet companies na to, kung how these social media apps work. Because you can actually take advantage of algorithms. So when we say algorithms, you can use hashtags, you can go on Facebook groups and use this to have more people following you, or to have more people sharing your opinion. Kasi every likes and clicks, nag-generate yung mga apps na yan ng personality or data about you. And therefore, that's the way kung paano nila nakikilala kung sino magiging interested sa sinasabi mo. Okay? That's also one of the reason, babalik na naman ako sa sinabi ko kanina, that's also the reason kung bakit yung nag-appear sa feed mo, yung mga gusto mo lang makita. Actually, I almost forgot, no? With social media, we say that it's your source of information, but I beg to disagree. Tristan Harris, this co-founder of Center for Humane Technology, said that it's not actually information, it's affirmation. So when we say affirmation, kung ano lang gusto mo makita, yun yung nakikita mo. And so how are you going to be a critical reader kung ang nababasa mo lang or nakikita mo lang ay yung gusto mo lang makita, or yung mga posts na magti-trigger sa'yo, yung mga posts na this is exactly what I'm saying, 'di ba? Kaya nga tinuturuan tayo sa school na kailangan marunong ka magbalanse ng views ng dalawang views or dalawang side of the story. Because if you're not balancing both views, if you're only fed of one side of the story, you're not being a critical reader, kasi hindi mo alam yung side ng kabila eh. Hindi mo alam yung ano pa ba bukod dun sa nakikita mo. Kaya minsan mag-i-stay tayo ng opinion pero hindi tayo nag-critical muna, hindi muna tayo nagiging critical. Basahin mo muna yung ibang sources. Well, I believe na all your teachers, or most of the teachers are teaching their students na you have to be critical readers in such a way na kailangan mo munang humanap ng iba't ibang sources bago ka mag-conclude sa isang opinion. Kung nag-conclude ka na agad by reading just one post, you're not being a critical reader. You're not analyzing. You're not using your critical thinking skills. And that goes against what you are being taught in school. You say na 95 ang grade mo sa school, but then when you go on social media, you're not applying your critical thinking skills, right? So, I want to go back to my main argument. Yung mga cyberbullying na yan, make sure na baka naman kasi pinapakita lang sa'yo ni Facebook yung mga makakapag-outrage sa'yo, kaya ka nagiging keyboard warrior. Pero you have to examine first, baka na manipulate na yung brain mo na hey, these people are doing this, these people are doing that, and you should be angry. That kind of manipulation is happening all the time, and so you have to be careful. And the to answer the question, how can we repair the harm that has been done? Maybe we can apply the 5 rules that I shared today. How can we prevent this from happening again? Going on social media and posting racial comments and just being racist and discriminatory. Maybe you can apply the 5 rules first. First, examine how how Facebook works. Baka naman kasi na manipulate ka lang, nagagalit ka na agad pero hindi pa pala yun yung katotohanan. But what's happening is just Facebook is only affirming you of what you want to see, what you want to know. So kailangan mo munang i-analyze mo muna yon. How can we prevent this from happening? Maybe we need to be more private in our lives online. Maybe we need to protect our digital reputation, thinking na, ay, bago ako mag-comment, ano bang mangyayari in the future kapag sinabi ko to? Right? Baka naman, how can we prevent this from happening again? Kasi nagko-comment ka para lang may makausap ka online. Like, alam mo na may magre-respond sa'yo. Alam mo na matutuwa yung mga friends mo sa sinabi mo, kaya ka nagpo-post. So, you are, in a way, being manipulated kasi nagpo-post ka ng isang napaka-long na message at rant kasi gusto mo may mag-respond sa'yo, kasi gusto mong matutuwa, matatawa sa'yo yung kaibigan mo. Without thinking na, hey, you are a people pleaser. Nagpi-please ka lang, kaya ka nagpo-post nito. Right? So, before you do that, before you click, think, right? So, I want to end my presentation by saying that, yes, I am sure that you know your rights, but your rights end where others' rights begin. Thank you so much. Kurt and Bea?